Yes, I am now in Coimbatore KIT campus. Today I am going to give you a practical demonstration of parallel operation of two identical alternators, wherein we are going to study two different performance. Performance number one, how to do a load sharing based on two alternators running in parallel when both are to be identical. Number two, I am going to connect two machines. Number one, alternator to the EB supply, where I am going to do an operation called V curve inverted and V curve. How to draw a V curve inverted and V curve using parallel operation. These two experiments today I am going to explain to all of you. Yes, I am going to follow a step-by-step procedure. First we will talk about some theory, and later that we will talk about the practical experiments and what are the circuit diagram and how to connect and how to get the readings and how to draw the graphs and how to get a interpretation from that. All those things we will do step by step. Thank you for your patient listening. I hope this video will take nearly half an hour time to complete. So if you can stay hold, then you can able to learn very easily step by step. Thank you for your patience. Please wait. Why we are going for parallel operation? நம்ம ஏன் வந்து parallel operation போறோம்? What is the necessity for parallel operation? First அந்த விஷயம் தெரிஞ்சுக்கணும். Right? In order to parallel operation, three different things. I mean the three different important things that you have to keep it in mind. First one, these are the foremost and the top priority thing that you have to keep it in mind. Number one, the voltage of the machines, two machines should be identical. The voltage of the two machines should be identical. The frequency of the two machines should be identical, and the phase sequence of the two machines should be identical. These are the three important points that each and every engineer has to think about while doing a parallel operations. You have two different machines in your hand. Both are identical sometimes, or both may be unidentical. But anyway, if you want to connect these two, then these three important parameters is to be taken into control. And you have to verify that voltage should be perfect. I mean that in both machines, two voltage should be equal, as well as frequency in both machines should be equal, and phase sequence in both machines should be equal. Either you can connect a machine to machine, or in our study case, I am going to connect a machine to the EB supply, where assuming that RYB is my sequence, and my alternator is going to have a sequence of RYB. So RYB sequence is almost assumed that is equal. And I am going to check whether the generated voltage from my alternator is up to the level of EB. So suppose for an assumption I am taking my EB voltage is 400 and my alternator voltage is to be generated for 400. So 400 is the EB voltage and 400 is the generated voltage in my laboratory. So first I have to verify the voltage, and also I have to verify the frequency. For measuring the frequency and for measuring the voltage, I have voltmeters, I have frequency meters, and I am assuming that phase sequence are equal. So these precautionary things that you have to keep in mind while doing this experiment. And what are all the elements, or I can say what are the equipments or apparatus that is required for doing this kind of experiment? Number one, I can say like we need a machine coupled with a DC machine coupled with an alternator. Yeah, that is a machine. You can able to see a DC machine coupled with an alternator. And in order to control the prime mover, here my DC machine is the prime mover. I need a field control, where this field control rheostat is going to control the speed of the prime mover. My shunt motor which is connected is going to control the speed. So for controlling purpose of the speed, in other words, for controlling the frequency of the given alternator, I am going to use this one. Okay, so this rheostat, field rheostat, is going to control the frequency also by controlling the speed of the machine. Okay, this is the importance of this rheostat actually. And in order to have the load, I want to observe what is the load of the prime mover. So that in order to observe the load of the prime mover, just I am connecting an ammeter. This is an DC ammeter. This EC ammeter is going to read the armature current of the prime mover. The armature current of the prime mover is identified here and it is measured here. The reason is how much a prime mover is overloaded or loaded, that I want to understand. For that purpose I am using an ammeter here. And then the potentiometer or potential divider, what we are using is, this is for field adjustment of the alternator. So my alternator is to be controlled because I am going to generate the voltage, so that if you adjust the field of my alternator, automatically there will be a voltage adjustment in my alternator. So the rise in the field is going to rise in the voltage, or if you want to drop the field, and I am going to drop the voltage in order to control my voltage, I need this potential divider, or we can even we can use a field rheostat. This field is the alternator field, but this field is the prime mover or DC motor field. We have two different fields here. Don't confuse yourself. One is for alternator and one is for DC machine. And this voltmeter is for alternator. And what is the purpose of this field current actually? This field current is going to measure how much amount of field that I am going to give to my alternator. That is the amount of EMF, I can say in other words, what is the field current I am giving to the machine, so that it will produce an EMF, and that EMF is given as the voltage, or we can able to measure as a voltage, because EMF means electromotive force is equal to voltage. So this is what the thing. So we have 4 meters here. 1 meter is for measuring the voltage of my alternator, and 1 meter is for measuring the load current of the prime mover, and here one field ammeter is for measuring the field current of the prime mover, and next one is to measure the field current of the alternator. So two field currents I am measuring. One armature current of machine, alternator, and one armature current of my prime mover. So prime mover current, and then armature current, and then field current of my alternator, and then voltage of my alternator. So these are the required measurements that you have to do in conducting this experiment. And moreover, I have placed 2 meters here. You can able to see that this meter is actually a power factor meter. This is going to measure the actual power factor. Why I am just keeping these boxes here, that I am going to do a V curve and inverted V curve operations based on this parallel operation. So in order to do a V curve and inverted V curve, for that we need, everybody needs 2 parameters. I can say like one parameter is the field current and another parameter is the armature current. If you give a relationship between the armature current and the field current, we can get a V curve. On the other side, if you want to draw the characteristics, if you want to find the characteristics between the power factor of my alternator and the field current of the alternator, so the characteristics which is drawn to the field current as well as the power factor is going to give an inverted V curve. So in this experiment, I am going to demonstrate how to draw a V curve and inverted V curve using this parallel operation method. And as I told already, I am going to do another operation called, by taking 2 identical machines, you can able to witness that is another table there, where I am having another alternator. These alternators is identical. The alternator in the table number 2 and I am standing in table number 1. Both are identical. I am just going to run that particular alternator also, and I am going to run this alternator. These 2 are selected as identical alternators. These 2 identical alternators are run. I am going to operate separately, and I am going to connect it in a common bus bar called infinite bus bar using parallel operation methods called synchronizing panel methods, where I demonstrate you how to give connections and all those things. This is the fundamental of parallel operations. To put it in a nutshell, if you want to do a fundamental, if you want to do a parallel operations, first and foremost thing you have to keep it in mind is that you have to measure the voltage, or you have to these 3 things are very, very important, and you have to keep it in mind that voltage should be constant, frequency should be constant, and phase sequence of the both machines should be equal. So RYB phase sequence in the first machine should be maintained in RYB sequence in the second machine. Say I can say R, Y, B, or R prime, Y prime, B prime. These sequence should be kept equal, and we have to do this. So this is a practical setup which I have given you. And next we go to the next method of my first machine. Just I have connected a voltmeter here. And for measuring the current of my first machine, that is, I am talking about alternator current. I want to measure the current in the armature, maybe a line current, or it may be a phase current. If you want to connect it in a line or phase, because it's a star connection, both are going to give the same value. Similarly, if you want to have a voltage measurement, you can connect either in the phase or you can connect in the line to line. If it is line to line, it should be like 400 volt. If it is line to phase, it should be like 230 volt. And this is the field current of my prime mover, otherwise or my DC machine. So the same setup is followed in the table number 2 also. Just I will tell you, and I will take it to the table number 2 now. Now I am in table number 2. Similarly, what you are seeing here, you can see that the table number 1 as well as table number 2 both are identical. So I have taken a kind of alternator which is color, this blue color alternator which is table number 1, and this is the green color alternator which is table number 3. But color is different, but both are identical in with the neighborhood details or with the ratings. Both are equal. If you take a voltage ratings or the current ratings or everything, all the specifications are similar for alternator number 1 and alternator 2. That is table number 1 and table number 2. So as I told, these are the required equipments, or I can say these are required meters for my particular experiment. Here, as I told, here I have the same DC supply. This DC supply I am having the same LAF, which is a starter for my table number 2, that is the second machine, which is a prime mover. Here I have the field. This is the field of my prime mover, and this is the armature of my prime mover. And coming to this, I can able to find one F and FF. This F and FF is the field of my alternator, that is the machine number 2. Machine number 2 field is connected here, and RYB, the output of this alternator 2 is taken to the work table RYB. From the work table RYB, just I am taking 3 wires. See, yellow, red color wire from R, and yellow color wire from second phase, and another third color wire, third one, this yellow color. These 3 lines are just taken, and these 3 lines are already taken to the terminal, which is called the synchronizing panel. So this is the output taken from the table number 1 to my synchronizing panel. So connections are similar in both cases. As I told, field is for controlling the speed of the prime mover. This field is for controlling the voltage in the alternator. And for measurement purpose, I have just connected voltmeter in the AC side as well as current in the AC side. Similarly, I want to measure the armature current of my prime mover as well as the field of my prime mover. So you want to have a note on IF. IF means field current, IA means armature current, and V means the voltage of the alternator. And for the study of V curve, I have just given 2 wattmeters here. Sorry, it's a power factor meter. I am just connecting 2 power factor meter, which is not connected right now. Yes, I am going to connect it in later. I am going to give the V curve inverter V curve operations. So this is what about the circuit diagram. Coming to the circuit diagram for easy understanding. So this is the actual setup of machine, like machine number 1. Similarly, you will have machine number 2. So for machine number 1, this is the area what we are seeing is the prime mover area, and this is actually your alternator. And as I told, from the circuit diagram, the supply is taken from the DC supply is taken and is given to the 3-point starter. Via 3-point starter is given to the armature, and from the armature just connected to the negative, as well as the field is controlled by a field rheostat. And this voltmeter, if you want, you can connect. Others, if you do not required also, if you want, you can connect to know about the voltage across the armature. And this ammeter is for measuring the load current, how much load. Suppose if this machine is loaded, this will indicate how much for the rise in the load, how much my prime mover load is increasing, so that we can witness these also. And this is the separate field circuit for my alternator, where separate 230 voltage is taken, and it is controlled by a potentiometer or a potential divider, or either you can method like a rheostat. This is called a field rheostat method. So I am using a potential divider method here, and so I am just controlling the potential here, so that my field current is controlled. When the field current is controlled, automatically the EMF generated in my alternator will be controlled. That EMF is measured here in the voltmeter, which I have shown here in the voltmeter. So this is the voltmeter which is going to measure the generated voltage. This is the same case. Here I have connected 2 meters, which is called an IM. As I told, this 2 meters. Here it is actually a wattmeter, but instead of wattmeter, I have taken here power factor meter itself. So this is for measuring the power factor. Here it is for measuring the power. So this is a circuit. The same thing will be given to the. We can take as the second machine number 2. And now, how to do a parallel operations? That is very, very important. No, as I told, 3 conditions to be satisfied. As I told, from the first onwards, I am very often informing you that 3 important conditions is voltage, frequency, and phase sequence. This should be measured. This should be maintained. For that, I am just coming to the synchronizing panel. So this is the synchronizing panel which is going to connect my machine. The machine number 1 is connected here, and machine number 2 is connected here. This machine number 1 and machine number 2 is synchronized by a synchronizing switch. The central switch is called the synchronizing switch, and the voltmeter 1 is from that. It is going to measure the voltage for the machine number 1, and the voltmeter 2 is going to measure the voltage of machine 2, And similarly, I am going to measure the frequency of machine 1. Similarly, I am going to measure the frequency of machine 2. This is the voltage comparison V1 and V2. This is the frequency comparison F1 and F2. And this is a synchronoscope where it will indicate which machine is running fast and which machine is running slow. So my synchronoscope should be in this position, like it should not be neither fast or it should not be neither slow. It should be in this direction. So it is a perfect direction or perfect indication for me to close the switch. If this synchronoscope needle is at this position, I can close the switch. It means that my frequency, my voltage, my phase sequence are equal. On the other side, there are 6 different bulbs connected here, which is used to indicate us how to, when and how I am going to close the synchronizing switch. This is going to give you a dim and bright method. We can say, in the theory itself, how to do synchronized operations. We can have different methods. The method number 1 is the dark lamp and bright lamp. We used to say dim and bright method. So this is for dim and bright method of verification. This is synchronoscope verifications. I am doing 2 different verifications. One by synchronoscope, another one by dim and bright method. If I assume that if all the conditions are okay, then I will close the synchronizing switch. So once the synchronizing switch is closed, all this machine number 1 and machine number 2 will come into the common bus bar, and where you can see that the voltage is at the floating condition. Before closing, voltage is not at all floating. Once if I close, it is called floating. Floating means it is called an infinite bus bar, where I can have a constant voltage everywhere, where I can have a constant frequency everywhere. So I want to make it as a floating condition. So once the switch is closed, the machine number 1, machine number 2 will be synchronized in a common bus bar, and from the common bus bar, these T terminals, just I am going to take the load. The load is kept there on the other side. I am going to check with the resistive load, I am going to check with the inductive load, I am going to check with the capacitive load. Within these 3 different loads, I am going to connect one by one, and I am going to show you how the load is shared between 2 identical machines. If at all, if these 2 machines are identical, definitely the current consumed by the both machines should be almost equal. Say for example, if the load current is equal to 5 amperes, 2.5 amperes should be taken care by machine number 2, and 2.5 amperes should be taken care by machine number. So 2.5 plus 2.5 will be equal to 5. So that is what the load sharing will happen. Suppose 4 amperes, similarly 2 plus 2 equal to 4 amperes. So since these 2 machines are said to be identical, the currents are shared equally. Suppose the one machine is having a different power, say higher power, automatically the load shared by machine, each machine is not going to be identical. It is going to have a small difference, because huge machine, the high power rating machine is going to contribute more, and low power machine is going to contribute less. That we can analyze. On the other side, from the same experiment, I am going to give you a demonstration for how to do V curve and inverted V curve also. So this is what the clear-cut theoretical explanation of parallel operation of 2 different alternators. Once again, I am going to check the voltage, frequency and then phase sequence, and then I am going to close my switch, and then I am going to do a load sharing principles of operations, and then I am going to do a V curve and inverted V curve operations. So before starting the demonstration, please stay back. I will be coming soon. Thank you for your patience. Now we will see the practical demonstration how I am going to do a parallel operations. Watch carefully. So normally this experiment people will feel afraid to run this machine, but it is a very interesting and very simple experiment. Nothing big in this. Just I am going to do 3 verifications. After these 3 verifications are okay, then just I am going to close the synchronizing switch. It's a very simple thing. Just wait and see how I am going to demonstrate. So just switching on the power of the first machine. So the prime mover supply is switched on. So the power to the DC machine is already ready. And I am checking for all the connections. Once again I just verified already the connections are pakka. Just I am ready to start. So just I am going to start the machine via starter, because it is connected via 3-point starter. So just I am starting the 3-point starter here. Just you can be able to see that. So slowly my machine is starting and running. This is the first and foremost step. Just after starting the machine, just I am going to adjust. So I just get help from my Mr. Satish. Please Satish, just try to adjust the speed. He is adjusting the field rheostat See, so that you can able to visualize that there is a rise in the speed. Just try to analyze. There is an increase in the speed. The sound itself is getting varied. So I am going to measure the speed now. So you can get slow. So just reduce it slowly reduce it, slowly reduce it. Still. No, still reduce. Still. Okay. I assume that is like running at 1500 RPM approximately. It is 1534. I am assuming that it is running at 1500 RPM. This is the first step. So since my machine is running at 1500 RPM, definitely my alternator which is coupled to this machine is going to run at 1500 RPM. It means running at 1500 RPM, 120 F over P. Assume that it's a 4-pole machine. It means that my frequency is going to have reflections with the speed. So speed is equal to 1500. It means that my frequency is going to be 50 Hz. Now I am assuming that the frequency of my alternator is kept at 50 Hz because my prime mover is running at 1500 RPM. The next step, just I am going to raise the potentiometer or potential divider. So once if it is potential divider is raised, you can able to visualize or witness there is the rise in the voltage in the alternator. Please watch that. Satish, please try to help me. See this one. If once he is raising this, rise it. We can able to witness the rise in the voltage. Now keep this here at 100 volt. Make it as 100. 100 means, why I am keeping in 100 means because the scale. So it is 150 scale but connected in phase to phase. So 100 into 4 times it is like 400 voltage. It is the phase voltage. I have taken the phase voltage. It means now I started the machine. I was running the machine. The machine is running at 1500 RPM. Later I just raised the potential divider. I just boosted up the voltage in my alternator, and now my alternator is running with 50 Hz and also it is generating 400 voltage. This is the first case. So this voltage is taken here and it is given to the switch. From the switch, as I told earlier, it is taken to the board, synchronizing board. This wire is already just demonstrated. It is given to the board. Okay. Now close the switch. It means that the power from the first generator or first alternator is taken to my synchronizing panel. Once if I close the switch, okay, I am going to close the switch. So once if I close the switch, the power from machine number 1 will go to the synchronizing wire. So this is the first procedure I have taken in the table number 1. The same procedure will be repeated in table number 2. Please wait. Similarly, I am going to repeat the procedure for table number 2. Yes, I am going to switch on the supply. Once supply is switched on, I am going to start the machine using starter. So machine is running. The second machine is also running, and I am going to raise the speed. So I am raising the speed, and again I am going to check the speed. I am going to check the speed of the machine. So sorry. Reduce it. Satish, please help me. Reduce. Okay, done. No. Raise it. Little bit. Raise. Slowly. Raise. Thank you. Now the speed is like kept at 1500 RPM. Assuming that the second machine is running at 50 Hz. As the next step, just I am going to start building the voltage in my alternator. See this. Initially, the field of the alternator is kept to 0. So there is no voltage in the alternator. So now I am going to raise the field. So see the ammeter, the field is rising. I am raising the field current. So simultaneously there is a rise in the voltage. So I am going to keep my voltage at 100. It means 100 into 400 voltage. Okay. Here also the phase voltage is maintained as 400. That is the field current. Now I have taken the same power to the synchronizing panel to the switch via switch. So this is switch number 1. This is switch number 2. Machine 1, machine 2 supply is taken now. So okay, now I am going to verify. This is the actual procedure that we have to do in demonstrating the parallel. This is the main thing in doing a parallel operations. Now I am going to close the synchronizing switch after verifying the 3 conditions: say voltage, frequency and phase sequence. Assuming that phase sequence are equal, I'm just going to switch on the supply 1. See that the voltage is like 400 voltage, and see that frequency is running nearly like 49 hertz to 50 hertz. You can see the black color read there. So only one read is like indicating black, and so it means that approximately it is running at 50 hertz. So I am going to switch on to. Once if these two power are now not synchronized, so there is a difference in glow of bulb, and try to witness now. That is the voltage. Almost the voltage is equal. See here in this number 2, it is showing like 380 plus. Similarly here it is like 380 to 400. It's a small way. What is that? That is small variations. The voltmeter is just showing, but I am trying to control it. I'll try to control and put it in. I'll try to control at 400 voltage. I'll just maintain 400 voltage in both the cases, and see the synchronoscope. The synchronoscope is like it is like it's revolving like anything, but I want to maintain the synchronoscope as I told in this position. Mean that both frequency are maintained constant. On the other side, see the frequency of this one. Since this frequency is like 49 hertz, this frequency is also should be at 49 hertz. So I want to check it. For that, what I am going to do is I am going to control the speed of the machine. So once if I control the speed of the machine, definitely we can able to see the difference in the glow of bulb. Okay, you can visualize both the things. I am going to control here. Okay, I am going to control here. See that is a glow, that is a gas. So this means that the frequency is varying. The frequency is varying. See the synchronoscope is also it's running like anything. Okay, it means that the frequency is not matching. So I am trying to match the frequency. So what I want to do, I want to do this process very slowly. Okay, I am just trying to do it very slowly. I am trying to control the dim and bright method concepts. Now see, it is in control now. It is in control now. Yeah. Either the bulb has to go in this way. All the bulbs should be bright, or all the bulbs should be in dark position. At this condition, I can just close the switch. Now I just locked the synchronizing panel. So means that the voltage is maintained as constant. See the voltage in both cases. See the frequency in both cases, and see the synchronoscope now. This is the thing you want to witness now. See the synchronoscope. It means that since the synchronoscope is standing at that particular position, it means that machine 1 and machine 2 are synchronized together, which are running in parallel now to a common bus bar. Once it is running in a parallel to the common bus bar, I am just going to connect a load to that machine, and I am going to check whether the load is shared equally or not. So until then, please wait. Earlier I told you how to close the switch, right? Suppose unknowingly you are not measuring the voltage, you are not measuring the frequency. Just if you are doing some kind of malfunctions. So let us try to demonstrate what will happen if something is if you are done wrongly or unknowingly. So for example, I can take this. I am assuming that the frequency is not in control. So see, this is the condition. From the flickering of bulb itself, you can able to understand the frequency is not at all constant. If I try to close the switch at this condition, try to observe there will be a jerk in the alternator. So this is to be visualized actually, and that should be, you have to be very clear in observations. So you can able to have a small sound like dung sound, a jerk sound that has came, right? I try to analyze that one. You will have a different sound called some sound. You will have some sound, right? Try to just observe the sound itself. That is the thing. So now I will try to demonstrate to you that how to do load sharing. So now I will try to demonstrate how to do load sharing. So I just connected 1 meter ammeter here in the first machine. Similarly, another ammeter in the second machine, and similarly third ammeter to the load. So this is my total load current. This is the current taken by the current supplied by the machine number 1, and that is the current supplied by the machine number 2. So this is like, for example, I2, this is I1. So I1 plus I2 is going to be my total load current IL. I am going to give one demonstration for you with the load. Actually, I am going to apply the load, and I am going to demonstrate. So first I am going to apply a load to this side. Try to apply a load. I will get help from him. Please switch on the load. switch on the load. So you're switching on the load now. And again, one more. Okay. Now try to witness. Switch on the load. So try to see the rise here. It is like 0.5 ampere. Similarly, that ammeter is also showing 0.5 ampere. Just show that ammeter value. Zoom it. Okay, you can able to visualize 0.5 ampere there. And try to see the current in the machine. Total current is going to be like nearly 1 ampere. Like, just increase the load now. Raise the load. Okay, now see here. Now my first ammeter A1 is showing like 1.5 amperes. It is showing 3, but is in the scale by divided by 2. It is like 1.5 ampere. Similarly, my ammeter 2 is showing again like 1.5 ampere. And see, my load current is going to be like 3 ampere. So try to zoom it. 3 amperes. Yeah. So it means that the load is shared by both machines equally. Since these two machines are identical machines, machine 1 is contributing like 1.5 ampere and machine 2 is contributing like 1.5 ampere and total load current is 3 ampere. Similarly, we will go for next load. Try to increase the load now. Okay, increase the load. Now try to visualize here. Now it is showing like approximately like 4.5 means like it is like 2.25, right? 2.25 amperes. Similarly, see the machine number 2. Again, it is like 2.25 amperes approximately. It is 2 amperes approximately. See here, 2.25 plus 2, it is like 4.6 amperes. It is showing like 4.6 amperes. So again, the load is equally shared, approximately equally shared by both the machines. So this is the way that I can be able to prove, or in this way we can prove that two identical machines are connected in parallel. After doing all the procedural steps, I just shown you and I have proved that both machines is sharing equal currents and the total load current is shared by both machines when machines are said to be identical. This is the first experiment that you can able to study and demonstrate using parallel operations. So next we will see the V curve and inverted V curve operations. Until then, I can take bye bye from you. See you. Bye bye.